just still playing left.
Okay.
Looks so thin there, Nick.
He does. He does look thin.
Here's the numbers this season between Baker and Jayden. Their second meeting, Tampa Bay won week 1. So would you rather have Jayden or Baker?
For this game?
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
Baker, and it's not a question. I mean, first of all, all of the rookie quarterback playoffs on the road stuff applies here as it did before.
I know you just said it, so say it. I want you to say it again. But don't you think that response?
No, I don't.
Wasn't it like 5? What was the stat?
7 straight losses for rookie quarterbacks on the road in the playoffs, and 5-14 rookie quarterbacks on the road in the playoffs. That's the vibe of one of the 5 35 years. I disagree. I just thought, and the other piece of it is this: Baker is an awesome big game quarterback. Last week, second half, had to have it awesome. Dating back to the Rose Bowl against Georgia, he was awesome. And here's Baker's playoff numbers.
Yeah, I mean that.
What? I mean, what?
It was the Saints. That should not have been like second half.
Okay, okay. How about this? At Pittsburgh, at Kansas City, home for who was the one home game he had? Philadelphia, and then at Detroit. Are those teams good enough? Because
I just wasn't impressed with Baker's performance.
This is no. We're gonna have to stop this right here. We're gonna let this clip play, but this is such nonsense and so disingenuous. This is ridiculous. Nick, he's saying at Philly and at Pittsburgh. Is that good enough for you, or home for Philly and Pittsburgh? He said himself, Nick Wright said himself, that the Philadelphia Eagles were the worst team in the NFL at the end of last season. That's what Nick Wright said himself. Those were his exact words, because I broke down the video. Same thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers when it was the Browns who beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got off to a hot start and then also completely collapsed. I have a whole video breaking down both of Baker Mayfield's wins. And against the Eagles, 219 yards after catch with an insane amount of missed tackles against what Nick said was the worst team in the NFL. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, who literally had 5 turnovers. They just kept throwing interception after interception after interception with also an insane amount of yards after catch. So just stop with the nonsense. Just stop. Stop the madness. Just stop it. You bring up the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a big game. Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, here we go. 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a rating of 74? That's a big game. 62% completion percentage, that's a big game. Huh? Wait, what? Like what are we saying here? Seriously, what are we saying here? Just stop. It's madness. Absolute, utter madness. He got to feast on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, again, completely collapsed. I have a whole video breaking that down. I'm not doing it all again in this video. And then he played the Kansas City Chiefs, who are actually obviously a good team. Not so good. Then, when he played the Philadelphia Eagles, who absolutely fell off, a cliff, were obviously awful, and over half his yards were after the catch. Do you understand how insane that is? He had more yards after catch than most quarterbacks have in just passing in general. Like, it's kind of insane. And then when he played the Detroit Lions, who were actually good, not as good. 2 interceptions, and a 94 rating. Like, ooh, yikes. Maybe not so good. Only 23 points when you needed a little bit more than that. So just stop. Stop juicing this up. God. Crazy.
Week against the Saints.
Okay, I thought the second half with the playoffs on the line, Baker was outstanding.
But it's the whole game.
But
playoffs
they shouldn't even been in that position.
Okay, all right. So you guys, when a team is down double digits in a must-win game and they're not playing that well, and the quarterback has the half that he had, where play after play after play he is making with his arms and his legs, to me, that was impressive. But I also, what, bro?
You don't give Brock Purdy that credit.
Gosh.
I'm just saying. When I talked about his comebacks in the playoffs, it's always he was bad in the first half, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
well, I don't think
that's what you're praising Baker for one thing, that you rip other quarterbacks with. I don't even have to bring it Brock Purdy. I'm just saying.
Okay, I don't think I commonly rip quarterbacks for playing great when they have to have it. I don't think I ripped Brock Purdy for that. And I
certainly
maybe
didn't give him credit.
I didn't give him the love you gave him. That's fine. And if we, again, almost every conversation we have on the show, we can turn into was I wrong about Brock Purdy? But I feel pretty good about the Brock Purdy
overstatements.
But Baker also is I don't know if you guys will have a problem with this graphic as well.
Go ahead.
Baker's just had 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns. That's all of NFL history who's done it. Baker's on that list now. And so it's just a bunch of the best seasons from the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, plus Baker. So I trust Baker in a big spot. We saw him play awesome in the playoffs last year. We saw him play awesome in the playoffs the last time he was in the playoffs. And the other kid's a rookie. So this is a 10-8 round to me. I'd rather have Baker this
Go
Sunday.
ahead, Coach.
So we're going to talk about winning at the end of the game. We saw Jayden Daniels do it against the Giants early in his career, came back there, and then
he's been great.
We saw it against the Chicago Bears. We had the Hail Mary, so that was a little magical. We saw it against the Eagles, right? There's 10 seconds left. He brings them down. I think they were down by 2 scores in that game, and he won that game. He broke the record for quarterbacks rushing, right? I think it's 891 yards. He's the 4th highest quarterback rating of any rookie quarterback in the history of the NFL. So you see all those things. He's riding a 5-game winning streak. There's that component to it. So I would say that, yeah, the rookies don't have a great record on the road, but I do think this has been the type of season where that magic could continue into the playoffs. And when you look at Baker, he has played great, and he is a tough out, and he's competitive, and there's so many things that you like about him. The thing that concerns me a little bit is the volume of interceptions. So he leads the league in interceptions. And then when you look at his turnover-worthy plays, the balls that weren't caught, the turnovers that could have been, but weren't, he led the NFL in that too. And I think that's a concern for me. So I like Jayden in this moment.
You'd rather have Jayden Daniels
I would rather have Jayden Daniels in this game with this team this season because of all the things that have gone up to this point. And I don't think this is going to end here this weekend. And I do feel that what Baker did last week was great in the second half. I didn't really expect it to be that way.
Neither did I.
In that game, it felt like they had all kind of relaxed a little bit, and then suddenly had to ramp it up. Never thought that was going to be a game last week. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to carry over, but didn't love that way of getting.
Exactly. The answer is absolutely Jayden Daniels. Absolutely. Listen, Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. He absolutely is. Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Now, the big benefit that Baker has is that he has the experience. Baker is an actual legitimate seasoned veteran. You can't take that away from Baker. So Jayden does have this uphill battle being the rookie that he is. And that makes total sense, and that's understandable. So I understand if going into this, you're like, it's better to maybe have the quarterback with a little bit more experience. But it can't be argued Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback. Because again, if you just want to use these baseline stats like Nick wants to use when comparing these two quarterbacks, well, I've already disarmed that right there. Again, think about what Jayden Daniels has had to work with, and again, Baker has had to overcome a lot as well. But if we're just going to use these as stats to be like, oh, see, look, he's got a higher completion percentage and this or that, well, then use the actual advanced analytics. Use the actual advanced analytics that show Jayden Daniels to be top 5. Okay, that show Jayden Daniels to be 89.6 offensive rating over Baker's 86. And not to mention, those stats don't show what Jayden does with his legs, rushing for nearly 900 yards. Okay? They're asking Jayden Daniels to do so much for that team. And again, I understand Baker had to deal with his own, things of injuries. But again, Jayden sat out in multiple fourth quarters. He missed multiple games. Because also now when you talk about yards per game, he theoretically played 3 games that he did not finish. Like he had Or 2 games that he did not finish. I forget. Definitely, you had the game against the Panthers that he started and then came out of, and then against the Dallas Cowboys. That brings down your yards per game significantly. Significantly. He would have feasted against the Carolina Panthers, but he got knocked out of that game. And then he had 3 games where he was clearly not 100% healthy. And you can't say, oh, injuries, that's an excuse. It's what Nick Wright himself said, because he used it as a way to bring down Jayden Daniels and say, that's the problem. He's clearly hobbled. He's clearly not 100%. That's the drawback to who Jayden Daniels is and his size. You heard them in the beginning of this clip talk about, oh, look, he looks skinny. He looks skinny. So we know that those numbers would be significantly increased. We know that without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. And like Mangini talked about, turnover worthy plays. Baker Mayfield 25. Jayden Daniels only 11. Only 11. What does Jayden Daniels do with all the pressures that he has? All the times he has to scramble? Baker Mayfield's only had to scramble 42. Jayden Daniels, 75. 75. Baker scrambles less and gets sacked more. His pressure to sack percentage is 25.2. The higher, the worse it is. The lower, the better. Jayden Daniels, 22.3. Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback. That's just the reality. Dropbacks with pressure, Jayden Daniels has to deal with pressure. 211 times he's dropped back with pressure. Baker Mayfield only 159. There's just different levels to this. I mean, think about it. Jayden Daniels has been sacked 47 times. Baker Mayfield 40. Yet he was pressured 211 to Baker's 159. Do you know how insane that is? Seriously, do you really know how insane that is? I mean, like over 50 times more pressures and only 7 more sacks. That's insane. That's really insane. And considering he's dealing with all that pressure, and yet the passer rating is 100 to 106, pretty much within range. I mean, like, come on, that's pretty wild. The completion percentage nearly identical, considering what Jayden Daniels has had to deal with. Come on, man. Come on. Seriously, right now, that's the game we're going to play. You want to talk about total yards, passing yards? Look at this. Yards after catch. Baker Mayfield, second most yards after catch with 2,439. Whereas Jayden Daniels, all the way down to 1,780. That's a massive difference. Go add extra yards after catch for Jayden. He'll be above 4,500 too. He'll be part of that 4,500 club too. Not to mention, like I said, he literally missed multiple games. He didn't finish multiple games. The game against the Panthers, he barely played. He had like 3 pass attempts or something. I forget exactly what it was. But he came out of that game very early on. Very early on. Missing multiple fourth quarters. Like, come on. Stop. Stop. Tell the whole story, man. Tell the whole story. And again, this isn't made out to be that I'm saying that Baker's trash, that he's bad. I think Baker did play great in that second half against the Saints, and it was impressive, and he did carry the team. It shouldn't have been like that, but it was. But also realize that Baker got to feast off of the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers. I mean, you got to play all those teams twice. Those bottom teams. I mean, Jayden had to go up against the Philadelphia Eagles, top defense in the NFL. He played the Bucs week 1. Yeah, he got to play the Giants in the second game of his career. It's not like he got to play them at the very end of the season when he was able to really take advantage. And again, when he played the Cowboys, when he could have juiced his stats, it was the final game of the season. So he didn't even get to take advantage of some of those games that would have really helped him. Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback. It's okay to admit that. It's okay. It's okay to admit that Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback. It's okay to also think that Baker Mayfield will have a better game. He's playing at home. It's the playoffs. Baker's already been in 4 playoff games. Jayden Daniels hasn't. He's a rookie. Because I can already see if Baker Mayfield wins this game, they're like, oh, yeah, how about Jayden Daniels now? It's like, oh, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. This is his first game ever on the road. Because the question was, who would you rather have? But then this question was answered in multiple different ways. Well, on the road, this, that. Well, it's just who would you rather have as your quarterback? Because if Baker Mayfield was the quarterback for the Washington Commanders, is he then on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Like, and then wouldn't Jayden Daniels then be at home? Then it wouldn't be a rookie quarterback at home, on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like it, that's why you have to kind of isolate these things, and you have to just say, who would you rather have as a quarterback? Just as a quarterback right now, who would you rather have? And the answer is Jayden Daniels, because Jayden Daniels has been a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. He does more for his team at a higher level. He just does. Just the reality. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders over Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers? Who would you rather have? Jayden or Baker on Sunday? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.